Good afternoon, y'all. I'm Marlene Bush, and this is Stitching by the Lake. Today is March the 29th, and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got a couple of messages. Thank you so much for those of you who checked on me. I had absolutely no idea it had been so long since I'd made a video. I don't really know what I've been doing. Not a whole lot, I don't think. I have a lot to show you and a lot to talk about, but I just didn't realize how long it had been. I'll try not to do that next time. I know y'all worry about me, and I appreciate that. Really, I do. So what's been going on and what I have to show you, I've been cleaning more in my sewing room. Those of you who watch all the time know that I am trying to downsize, getting rid of most of my quilting stuff because I'm not able to quilt anymore. My hands don't let me do that, the heavy lifting of quilts. But I also just am very focused on cross stitch, and with my age being considered, I'm trying to do all the cross stitch I can do as fast as I can do it. And quilting has just kind of fallen off by the wayside, I guess. You know how you cycle through things you do. I have always done some kind of sewing all of my life since I was a little girl. My mother made me take a sewing class when I was about 10 years old at the Singer Sewing Machine Company. They did a class for children, and I learned there about the sewing machine and how to use one and what, the basics of how wide your seam should be and all that kind of stuff, which was absolutely wonderful. And by the way, for those of you who don't sew but want to, Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, is doing a series right now on the basics of sewing. She is such a fabulous teacher, y'all. So if you're interested in that and you need that information, be sure you check that one out. Anyway, I have done crewel embroidery and regular embroidery. I have crocheted and quilted. I even tried needlepoint one time. Wasn't crazy about needlepoint. I cross-stitched back in the 70s and 80s and quit doing that in the early 90s when I started quilting, and now I've quit the quilting and gone back to cross-stitch. So anyway, I'm getting rid of some stuff, and I'm going to give away at the end of this video some embroidery pieces that I have done that I don't want to keep anymore. And then I've got a couple of whips to show you, a couple of finished objects. I've got several FFO'd things, and then I've got a stack right back there of things that you've seen before, but that I've framed that I kind of want to go back through again, just mainly for myself. I have decided that I'm going to frame as many of these things that I have that are not FFO, as many as I can, and I think I'm just going to fill my bedroom up with them. I love them all, and I want to see them frequently, but I don't have a lot of wall space in my house, so I'm going to take down what I have in there and just put all of these up. All of the things back here behind me are things that I did not stitch. They are things that I bought at flea markets because I liked them. And I'm going to leave all of those up there, but this one right here, this triptych, it may end up in my bedroom because I absolutely love that. So let's talk about what's been going on for the last 5 or 6 weeks. Right after my last video, I bought a new car. I bought a Subaru Outback. It's a 21, and it has all the bells and whistles, or really not quite all the bells and whistles, but most of them. Lots of nice safety features. I had driven a GMC Acadia for 10 years. Not the same Acadia. I'd had 2. The first one I drove for 4 years, and then an 18-wheeler sideswiped me and totaled it. And I bought another one and drove it for 6 years. And those are kind of big cars, and their gas mileage is not great. But it worked perfectly for me when the grandchildren were here a lot because it had 3 rows of seats. I don't really need that anymore, so I wanted to get a little bit smaller and a little bit better gas mileage, and so I bought this new Outback, and I just love it, y'all. Just love it. It's Lent. We are in Holy Week. Today is Monday. We are in the Monday of Holy Week, and I am of the Christian faith, so I celebrate this week. Looking forward to Resurrection Day on Sunday. And typically, Christians will give up something during Lent or add something during Lent. And so I decided to do both of those things. I decided to listen to 40 sermons at some time during this Lenten season, and I'm doing really good on that. I haven't gotten up to 40, but I'm getting close. I'm over 30. I also decided to get rid of 40 bags of stuff out of my house. I haven't been as successful with that, although I'm up to about 20. Now that includes bags that have gone to the trash, bags that have gone to Goodwill, bags of things that have gone to friends who are also stitchers, things that have gone to my children. So I've made a really good start on it, and I'm going to go right on past Lent. I'm trying very hard to downsize what's in my home, partly because I know that Jerry and I will not be able to stay here forever. It has steps. I'm having trouble with one of my hips. I don't know what I've done. I'm going to the doctor, I think in April the 8th or somewhere around there. I've had one x-ray, and they're going to have to do an MRI and check. I don't think I need a hip replacement. It's not like that. But I think I've probably torn something down in there at my hip. And it just has really made me rethink things. If one of us ends up in a wheelchair, we're not going to manage this house very well. Our bathrooms are small. The doorways are small. It's not handicap accessible. And so I'm kind of planning ahead for the time when we might want to go to a cottage of some kind. And I'm just trying to clean out and simplify things. So I'm going to continue to work on that this summer. During this last 5 or 6 weeks, I had a week or maybe even 10 days when it was rainy and it was gray. I don't do well during those days. I just don't, y'all. And I probably spent that whole time without stitching. I know I went a week without stitching. And I just sat in my chair and read. And I didn't even read anything good. It'd be different if I was reading something good. But I didn't. Whatever was free on Kindle Unlimited, that's what I did. I would read it, and I might read 20 pages and delete it. But I read a lot of those trash novels, I call them. And that's okay. I rested. I finished up my COVID shots, so I've had both of those. We actually traveled. We went to my sister's for almost a week. We went on Monday and came home on Friday. And of course, how I love my sister. She is like, I don't know, the other half of me. Jerry's supposed to be the other half of me, but maybe I have two halves. I don't know. But Sherry and I are very close, and just having that time face to face with her, even though we didn't do much of anything, it was really good. It was really good. And today, y'all won't believe it, I went and got a manicure and a pedicure. It was great. I got a pedicure, one pedicure about a month ago, but it had been over a year since I had done that. Because I've gotten my hair cut through this whole time, but I hadn't done anything else. So that was really nice this morning. I mean, they have these big plastic things between you and the manicurist. And of course, when you're sitting up in that big chair when they're doing their pedicure, they're down and you're up here, and we both had masks on. I've been going to the same girl there for 5 years probably. And something else y'all are not going to believe I did. I signed up for a retreat. Sherry and I are going to the Silver Needle in Tulsa in July. And, oh, I'm going to forget now. Teresa Kogut and the Blue Flower, I can't think of her name. Y'all are probably shouting that at me. But we're going there for that. So that's pretty exciting. I've missed retreats. I miss my friends, my stitching friends. I don't have anybody here close by to stitch with. So that's kind of hard sometimes. I've been to the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, my LNS, about once a month, I guess. But I go with a list and I wear my mask and they all have on masks. But pretty soon I'm going to go up there and sit and stitch for a while. It's not going to be long before I'm going to feel comfortable doing that. And I love, love, love that shop. I love Ann and Sherry. And if y'all don't, if you don't have an LNS, please consider using them as yours. They have a website, but they are wonderful if you call and talk to either one, Ann or Sherry, and, well, whoever answers. But they'll get your order together and make suggestions, and they cut the fabric to the size you want, and they serge it, and they'll get it out in the mail to you. It is 65 degrees here, today, but my house is shady, and so it was pretty cool in here, and I turned the heater on, and now I'm getting pretty warm. I've watched a few videos, but I've not watched as many as I typically do. I got a new television, and oh my goodness, it's wonderful. It's Bluetooth, and I actually can hook my AirPods to it so that I can hear it without it blasting. Jerry watches a different TV than I do, but we're just a few feet apart. He wears earphone things, and I wear my earbuds, and he watches the ball game, and I watch Flosstube. There's a couple of new stitchers, new Flosstubers, that I want to mention to you. One is Chrissy at Finally a Farm Girl. I've watched her first 2 videos and loved both of them. And then Sarah at Sarah's Stitches. Sarah lives in Whitehall, Arkansas, which is where my brother Terry was, and where Brenda, his wife, still is. So I'm sure I've driven close to her home many times in my visits to Terry. And oddly enough, Sarah is also a caregiver for her mother, who has dementia. And those of you who've been here for a while know that my brother had Lewy body dementia. And so I helped Brenda to care for him for 3 years. So y'all check her out. And also, Sambry Stitches has a new Flosstube up, a new interview, and this one is with Nicole at Nicole's Needlework, and I adore both of those ladies, so that's a fun one for you to go see. What else? Oh, Abby Bella Stitch started a stitch along. Stitch Asia, I think is the name of it. Not sure. But she was encouraging people to stitch Asian designers or Asian designs. And I looked, I couldn't find anything I just fell in love with. But I had this piece of fabric. I want to show you. I have a friend, an old quilter friend, who is American, but 55, 60 years ago, she married a Japanese man, and she's lived in Japan all these years. And she sent me this piece of fabric several years ago. This symbol, what it said on the package was autumn. And you can see that there's a couple of acorns, and I think that's a carrot. I don't know. I suppose those are, perhaps that's the word for autumn. Anyway, I thought if I could find something and use this as the back for a little pillow. I would really like that. So I started looking on the internet, and I found, I just printed this off, these are Japanese words for live, laugh, and love. But I haven't been able to get it small enough that I could get all of those on a piece of fabric that would work with that. So, and I haven't wanted to go, I think I could probably go to the, I don't know, to one of the office places and get it down. But I've decided I think I'm going to draw this off, just love, and stitch that. And this will be the front, and that piece of fabric will be the back. And if I know I have a piece of linen about that color, I will use it and stitch it with black. What do you think? I like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm way behind. I should already have started that, but oh, I just don't get to things quite as quickly as some people do. Honestly, y'all, I am really organized in my daily life. I have routines and that I follow, but it seems to me when I get to these videos, I'm never ever organized. I never quite get to where I want to be. Let me talk about whips. One of the whips that I am working on, I had hoped to get finished this week, and maybe I will, is this bunny right here. And this is called Black Sheep Redo Book 1, and that's the chocolate hair. This book was a gift, was either a gift or on the free table at one of the retreats I went to, and I think it was a gift. So this right here, chocolate hair, and I have, whoops, stuff everywhere. That's what I have. My goodness, the threads just went crazy on here. All I have left to do is the fill-in on this bunny. Everything else is done. Now, they had a border around theirs, just a plain border, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to finish this bunny like he is. And let me see if I can tell you what this fabric is. I have several calendars here that I write things down on, and like a lot of people, I use this one. I've used these, I think this is my 3rd year. And before that, I just used a regular calendar. And yesterday, I was going through my calendars trying to find some information for the back of a couple of these pictures back here. And I have lost 2018. I cannot find it anywhere. I'm hoping in my clean out that I did not toss that out. However, that is definitely a possibility. So let me look. It's just a 30 count even weave that I found in my stash, and I didn't even know the color of it. So that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is this pattern, Heartstring Samplery. This little sampler is called Anne Whitaker, 1827. If y'all are not aware, she is doing, Beth Twist is doing putting 4 small samplers on her website. This is the 2nd one, and it comes as a kit if you get there soon enough to order it off her website. It comes as a kit. She's going to do a total of 4, and then I think for market next year maybe, she's going to have just the patterns in a book. She bought this one because her maiden name is Whitaker. Now, her maiden name is spelled with 2 T's. This one is not. And this is how far I have gotten on this one. I don't remember what the fabric is on this, y'all. That's where I am. I'm working from the center down. Let's see if I wrote that down yet. I don't think I did. No, I haven't written that down yet. I'll have to go back and pull it out of my... Wait a minute. I may have put it in this calendar. I told y'all I'm not. I just can't do it. Not be organized right now. I just started this. I don't know. It's not there, y'all. And then I have a couple of finishes. This is Grace. It's by Country Rustic Primitives. It's a PDF, so I don't have the picture of it to show you. But I used her called for colors, and I think this is the called for fabric. Let's see. This is a 32 count Lakeside navy bean. And she uses DMC threads. I actually stitched 3 of these because I want to make some little pillows and give those for gifts. At the same time that I bought that, I bought one just like it, except it's Faith. It's on a 40 count Old Town blend. And I have completed one of these, but I'm going to stitch a couple of more of these as well. Of course, because I did it on a 40 count, it's a little smaller than the other one, and I did that on purpose. This is not her called for fabric, but I wanted the pillows to be different sizes. I also, because I changed fabric, I had to change colors of threads. Hold on a second, I dropped this. Y'all watching my videos just like sitting here in the room in it, because I just, whatever is whatever. 611 and 612, those are the 2 colors I use. Not a lot of difference in the 2 colors, but enough to show up on that. Okay. Where am I now? Oh, y'all, in Heartstring Samplery's kit, she sent this adorable little pen. There's a rabbit on top and an egg underneath it. But I have forgotten what these are for. Is this a counting pen? That's the only thing I could think of. Must be a counting pen. Okay. Let's talk about FFOs. Excuse me just 1 minute. I'm going to try to hold these where I can show you all of them. I did some more framing. I had some last time because I told y'all I'm trying to get through my stack. This is, let's see if you can see that, Basket of Memories. I call it Remember Me because that's what's on there. It's a Blackbird design pattern. I did it on a 32 count cream even weave. And I actually finished this one almost a year ago. It was in July of 2019. But I'm just now getting it in a frame. Isn't that pretty? I used the call for colors on that. This one I finished in October of 2019. But I may have even started it in 2017. I can't remember. It's another Blackbird design called Home for the Holidays. And I did it on a 32 count Lakeside cedar plank. The verse on this one, I changed the verse, and this verse was written by Ann Thompson at the Shepherd's Needle, my LNS. And this board I got at Hobby Lobby. I put it on foam core, and then glued it to this board. Now, there's no glue on this front part, but just on the back. I'm so glad. Is that upside down? No. Well, it's upside down on the plank because look at this. There's the hangers. I don't like two hangers anyway. But now I'm going to have to figure out how to get that hung. Oh, me. This one, y'all are going to have to help me out. I showed this to you last time. I didn't go back and watch that video, but I may have even told you what it was. It's a sampler, and I have no idea right now what the pattern is, or who the designer is, or anything else about it. It's another frame from Hobby Lobby. This frame, if you can look, it looks kind of distressed, kind of like barnwood. I found this over by the frames. They have some pre-made frames on sale, always, every time I'm in there. And I always check those out. This hornbook came from April Homestead Needleworks, I believe maybe is the name. This is Thou God Seest Me, heartstring samplery. It's done on a 28 count doubloon, and I started this one in 2018 and finished it this year, 2021. This is one that I finished last year, and it's another frame that I found at Hobby Lobby on that sale rack. This is In All Things Heartstring Samplery. It's on 28 count country French, and I finished it last year. I don't remember right now if I had finished this piece in February. Maybe. I may have finished this and shown it to you, but not framed. This is Words to Live By, Love by Heartstring Samplery. It's on a 34 count ACLL white, and I used Gloriana Schoolhouse Red and finished. I started it, I think in February. No, maybe January, and finished it in March. I don't know. I don't have that in front of me either, but I did it this year. All this year. This is one of my favorites. I love this. I love this verse from Philippians. And I know that I showed you last time the Loose Feathers Summer, Autumn, Winter. This is not quite finished because I've just got this stuck in here. It's Blackbird Designs, and it's done on a 28 count Wren Lugana. I started it in 2017 and finished it early this year. Love, love, love it. Okay, now, that's all my FFOs for this last 4 or 5 weeks. But I told you I thought I would go back and show you some of the other things I have shown you before that are finishes. And so, hold on one second. I'm going to turn around and pick those up. I don't know. Some of these you may not have seen. I may have gotten them finished. Here's another one I need help on. I can't remember this designer. It's just a little alphabet. It was a free one, I'm pretty sure. So if anybody knows, let me know. This is Make Use of Present Time, Sampler Lesson 1 from Plum Street Samplers. I don't remember if this is one of April's or if this is one I got at the Shepherd's Needle. This is Katherine Dickinson, Scattered Seed Samplers, which I did in 2020. This is absolutely one of my favorite samplers ever. Not that I've done like a million or anything. Now this is not quite finished, but I'm going to show it to you in here. I mean, it just doesn't have a back on the frame. This is Tender Father from Tree of Life Samplings. I did change this. It had a verse there that I took out and put my name. And I finished it in 2019. Here's another one I need some help on. I bought this at a flea market. It looks like a Prairie Schooler. I don't know what it is. So if you know, please email me. I'll put my email address down below because I really would like to document that. This one also doesn't have a back on it. I tried to go to Hobby Lobby to get some foam core because that's what I generally use on the backs. Y'all, the traffic has been horrendous here for the last 2 weeks, I guess. Spring break. This is a tourist town, and we have just been inundated. And today, I tried to go get my car washed, and there were at least 20 cars in the line. At least that. And so I just turned around and left. I'll have to go back a different time. It's going to rain tomorrow anyway, but we just got back from my sister's and it's got bugs and stuff on it. This is Thankful, Grateful, Blessed. It's by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and I started it in 2018 and finished it in 2020. All of these are going in my bedroom. Y'all think I can do it? You don't even know how big my bedroom is, but it's a nice size. It's just an average size bedroom, really. Hold on, gonna get the rest. This is the last of them. I know you're glad. Or maybe you're not. You just like me, just like looking at them. This is Tea Kettle Pin Keep by Pineberry Lane. And I stitched it last year. This is a 28 count flax. And I used onyx as the floss. I love these little bitty ones. This one is Bethya Finshaw. This has been one of my favorites too. The designer is Whilst Iris Naps. If you don't watch her videos, you should. You should check out her patterns. I love her. These are all reproductions. Hers are. Love them. I stitched that in January. It's on a 32 count of some kind. I don't know what color it is. And I used Weeks Dye Works Cayenne. I've got 4 or 5 of her patterns. I'm working my way through them. This is one I did in 2019. It's called Horse Country Holiday by Artful Offerings. And I did it on 18 count Ada. The color of that was What a Dump. I think that came from Shakespeare's Peddler, that fabric. I believe that's where I got it. This sampler is Esther Cannon. It's heartstring samplery. It's done on the 32 count Picture This Plus Ale, and I used Weeks Dye Works Juniper and Dirty Road. I stitched it in December. And y'all, I stitched it in one day. Another small, quick one. This is an old one, Home of a Needleworker. I stitched it in 2017, but it's going to go in my bedroom as well. It's from Little House Needleworks, and it's on 32 count medium parchment. This is called Have a Heart. It's by Erica Michaels. I stitched it last year. Fabric is a 32 count, but I don't know the color. This, I think I stitched in 2018. Nicole will know this. Yeah, Nicole and I stitched it. Was it 17? No, I think it was 18. This is Ebenezer's Christmas. It's by Erica Michaels, and I used a 28 count platinum. I hope these don't topple over. This is one I stitched in 2017, and Heaven and Nature Sing. 36 count pecan by Lakeside, and I used NPI silks on this one, which I do not often do. Now this one's going in my bedroom, but I did not stitch it. It's called The Beekeeper. It's by Plum Street Samplers, so I don't know the fabric. It was given to me in 2018 and was stitched by Linda Spalding. I had started it and was struggling with it, and Linda said, wait, I've got that, and sent it to me. What a generous heart. You know, friendship is not about gifts given. It's about hearts that touch. And sometimes it means gifts that are given. But it's always amazing to me when someone messages me or emails me and says, I want to send you something. Send me your address. I'm always overwhelmed because it's just so generous. And it's even hard for me to talk about because since I have been doing videos, I have been the recipient of many, many generous gifts. Some are cards, some are patterns, some fabrics, threads, stitch pieces. I have made so many friends through these videos, and my life has been enriched, totally enriched by those friends. So I want to be sure that I say thank you again and again for all those gifts, whether they are material gifts or gifts of your prayers and your good thoughts. Okay. Gonna get off of that so I don't cry. I used to do a lot of red work embroidery. I did it all the time. I loved it. I cannot do embroidery anymore because this hand, I've had surgery on it. I had a joint replacement here and here, and this one worked really well and this one didn't. And I can't do the sewing method to stitch. That's why I use hoops. And embroidery is the same way. I cannot control the needle in the sewing method. Now I can do it well enough to do a little whip stitch or you know, something like that, a buttonhole stitch on some wool, but not for long and not well, not like I used to do. But I have a lot of red work and other colors of embroidery that I've made lots of it. I've made some quilts, I've made pillows, I've made, you know, just all kinds of things. But these are things that my girls don't want. I have 2 daughters and a daughter-in-law, all of whom I adore. But these are things that I don't believe they're going to want. So I'm going to try to pass these on to someone who might want them and be able to use them. They all need to be finished. This is, there's a 9 machine embroidered ornaments. I did some machine embroidery for a while too, to be made into ornaments. I'll just show you a couple of them. One is the baby in the manger. One is just the manger. That's, I guess, Joseph. There's an angel. There's a little choir of angels. Anyway, if you would like to have these and make them into ornaments, if you would just use the word ornament in your comment. I have 2 manger scenes one in green and one in red. And if you'd use the word manger, yeah, manger. I stitched several of these, so I'm going to give 2 away. Here's the one that's in red. I have, let's see, what is this? These are quotes. They're done in green. I was going to do a small wall hanging. They look like this. All of them look like this. One says, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. That's from Winston Churchill. Life is a succession of moments to live. Each one is to succeed. Corita Kent. 6 of these. This is Old Glory. Got a few beads on it. Would make a great pillow. These are redwork flowers, and there are 18 of these. They're about a 6-inch block size, maybe a little bigger. Again, they would make a good wall hanging. And then I have a piece of Magic Guide fabric. It's 19.5 by 61, and it's a 25 count. And this is used for full coverage, and I don't plan to do that at all. Don't plan to do it. I forgot to tell you, Old Glory on the patriotic one, circle flowers, Magic Guide. Quotes on this one, and then red manger and green manger, and ornaments. If you're interested in any of those, I'm going to ask that we just do that in the United States because of the postage, and I'll try to do one. I'm not too far away from doing another gift certificate, which I will do internationally. I am up to 5,600 subscribers, I think. I'm pretty close to that anyway. So pretty soon I'll do a giveaway for that. And whoops, I'm just knocking things off everywhere. Okay, I think that's all I have. I hear my husband coming in. Jerry has been working out in the yard. It is a beautiful day, but the wind is horrific, and we've still got some leaves. We have a really huge yard, and I don't know, 25 trees, and have had such a rainy winter that we were not able to get all the leaves up. We've had the yard guys out once working on it, but it just continues to rain. And today, since it was pretty, he decided to try to mulch. He mulches the leaves when he can. And so he's been out there working a good several hours today. I see him walking out in the front yard now. Anyway, I think that's all that I intended to tell you. I hope that you all are well. I hope that if you are of the Christian faith, that you have a wonderful Holy Week. And if you are not, that your week is beautiful. And I hope that I will be able to see you again in just a couple of weeks, I hope. I'm going to try, y'all, to do a little bit better, okay? See you soon. Bye-bye.